really do think they were, if not, the greatest band that came out of California. I mean, they're definitely, in the, the top 5 greatest American rock bands ever. There's no question about that. And as a guitar player, you always want to point your finger at Eddie because obviously, Eddie is unique. And that's a hard word to say in the world of musicians. He's unique. But David Lee Roth is unique. Michael Anthony is unique. Alex Van Halen is unique. Sammy is unique. All these people, brought that uniqueness together to create that wonderful band. I think they are going to be remembered as one of the greatest American hard rock bands.
But I have to say, individually and as a group, the greatest rock band that ever lived. That's their legacy. They are so unique in their performance, in their music, in their visual, in every aspect. There isn't a niche that was missed. There wasn't a they didn't miss a cue. There was nothing left unsaid by Van Halen. They got everything out. And like I said, individually, they were all phenomenal. You put them together and they are nitroglycerin. They're insane. They're the best.
Hi, I'm Stephen Perkins. I'm a drummer. How are you? I like Van Halen. I play it loud and proud. You like Van Halen. We all do. VH4EVER, the documentary. We're going deep. You're going to hear stories. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry. You're going to remember why. VH4EVER, the documentary. The best band ever. I'll see you there.
I think the legacy of Van Halen should be, we had 4 guys, we had a band that changed the world. They changed how people, listen to music. They changed the sound. They changed everything. Every album was a smash hit to me and to millions of other people. It was consistent and it was just, it seemed like it was effortless. And every album was either a Oscar-winning movie or a, zillion diamond platinum selling album. It was like every album was like that to me in Van Halen. And it will live on for hundreds of years. Van Halen is immortal. Eddie Van Halen is immortal. They will never die in our hearts. They will live on forever.
It's amazing. When someone's that inspired and really grabbing it, the real deal, there's no like putting Band-Aids on stuff because it's all there. And it's all, everything, every note is it. It's not like, hey dude, you gotta, let's punch in those 3 notes because they didn't quite. No, he's got them all the time. And he did that live.
This is John 5, and if you want to see something amazing, get ready for these interviews. Lots of interviews. I can't wait myself. Get ready, VH4EVER.
I gotta say, the first song that I heard was You Really Got Me. And I love, believe me, I love the Kings, but I really love You Really Got Me by Van Halen. And when that song came out, and the power of it, and the groove of it, and just the whole overall energy, that band, Dave and Michael and Ed and Al, they were a sum of their parts. And I have to equate my love of early Van Halen with my love of the Beatles. The Beatles will always be my favorite band, but Van Halen is number 2. And then it goes on from Led Zeppelin to the Hendrix Experience to Tower of Power, James Brown's bands, on and on and on.
So in 1978, I was in junior high, and someone brought Van Halen 1 to school. I didn't hear the music. I didn't play the record yet. I was able to look at it and in awe. That's what rock and roll should look like. That's what a logo should look like. And he said, you don't want to borrow the record? I'll let you borrow it. So I took it home that day and bam.
Hi, my name's Tawny Katane, and if you love Van Halen as much as I do, well, I don't know if you got to spend as much time with Van Halen as I did, but I and so many other people have got incredible stories that you need to hear if, in fact, you absolutely, unequivocally love Van Halen. So get ready for VH4EVER.
They were like us at GNR. All we wanted to do was make a record and get on a tour bus and get the hell out of Dodge.
And I moved out to California in '77, and there was that, everybody knew Van Halen because Van Halen did backyard parties, and they were huge parties, and you know, lots of beer and girls, and that's when I first heard about Van Halen. And then when the first record came out, that's the first time I heard Eruption. I mean, if it wasn't for Eddie, nobody would have like waxed their pickups, nobody would have modded their amps, nobody would have done any of that. I mean, he was like I guess he was like the Les Paul of his generation, you know what I mean?
His love for music, his love for autos, his love for family, his passion for everything in life was immeasurable. And their music will live on forever.
Hey, I'm Tommy Nast, and I want to tell you, VH4EVER is going to be the ultimate Van Halen documentary with stories like you will not believe. Can't wait till this one comes out, but get ready for it. VH4EVER.
What do you say? It's like the only I saw my Kiss first was a little kid, you know, younger than that. Dynasty tour at Madison Square Garden. Saw Rush a couple years later. Then I saw Van Halen. Those are your first three rock concerts. Oh my God! But Van Halen, it just lit a fire and affected me so heavily, like that. And there's never been a time where I'm not thinking about Van Halen in the kind of everything I do. You know, like snare drum tone, man. Like it's like Bonham and Van Halen. If I can get my snare to get in that world, even close to them. It's just something I obsess on, and I always have.
I think it was one of those big bang moments when you first hear Van Halen. And even hearing the name Van Halen, if you think about it, I mean, that is such an iconic name. Even if you don't know what it is, you're like, what's a Van Halen? You know, it sounds almost angelic in there in some way.
All of a sudden, the receptionist at my radio station goes to the all call and says, everybody look outside. So I peel back my shade, and all of a sudden I see motorcycle cops with the lights going, just parked right in front of the radio station, and right behind them was 4 limos who come in, bang, boom, 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 right in front of the radio station with a police escort. The door swings open and out pops David Lee Roth with 2 hookers, strippers, call them what you would like, and arm in arm, one on each arm, through the front door of the radio station they go. Behind him, Eddie Van Halen's limo swings open. He's carrying a case or more of champagne and another stripper. Alex and Michael have the next ones, and they're coming in with a giant anniversary birthday cake and poppers and streamers and confetti, and it was nuts. In they go, right past the receptionist, which could never happen today. There was no police or security.
Yeah.
Right into the control room. They elbowed the disc jockey aside and said, Van Halen has taken over. And they did. So all of the champagne comes out. There's poppers and streamers and things flying everywhere. The monitors get cranked all the way up. The ladies they brought with them took off all their clothes and started dancing on the console to the loud music. And the word is getting around the radio station that Van Halen's there. So now everybody is in a room that's about this size, and we're all smashed in here. And I looked next to me, and it's Ed Van Halen. And I said, what's going on? And he said, hey, man, you don't think we'd forget you guys? And from there it went. They took calls from listeners. They played what they wanted. It was absolutely insane radio.
Hey guys, Keith St. John from Montrose here, and I just want to tell you about VH4EVER coming to you soon. There's going to be a whole bunch of people telling how Van Halen influenced their life, turned them into who they are. It's definitely part of me. I know it's definitely a part of your rock and roll world. So watch out for VH4EVER, and we'll see you soon.
Hey, from one Van Halen fan to a bunch of others, this is Greg D'Angelo from White Lion, and I'm in Burbank, California, standing next to Warner Brothers Records International headquarters, where Van Halen laid plans to capture the world. They were just east here at Pasadena and went west to Hollywood, but this is the place where it all started.
Anyway, this house behind me here, Jack Van Forshay lived here. You can see it's awesome. The backyard was also awesome, and this was the site of one of the most awesome parties ever. I mean, the helicopters overhead, of course. I don't know how long it lasted, really. I remember Dave just, playing to the copter in the spotlight and stuff. But yeah, there was over 1,000 people here, for sure.
People throw the GOAT name around a lot. I don't want to throw that around very easily. He, to me, personally, he was the greatest of all time. The ability to be able to play those rhythms and to write these songs that were simplistic in ways, but were not in other ways. The mixing of major and minors in the way he wrote things, and the major chords with minor influxes, it just is incredible.
Hey there, Jimmy DeAndre from Bullet Boys. Listen, what you're about to hear are some amazing stories. I'm in there, but it's a who's of stories about Van Halen. You will not believe your steaming ears. VH4EVER, you guys.